Alright, yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, J. Cole. Um, I don't know. I don't really have anything for us to, like, learn, per se. I really feel like ranting right now. Um, so, I'm gonna see. Whenever my roommate comes back, I'll probably just, like, end it. Um, and so we'll see how long that takes. He usually goes to walk for, like, an hour, so we should be fine, but, um, yeah, so I just started college, and like with the whole pandemic and everything, there's like, guidelines and everything, and my school's pretty good with it. We gotta wear masks 24/7 when we're not in our dorms, except for when we're eating, and then they have like, places to eat outside. Can't serve ourselves in the dining hall or whatever. And we're doing pretty good, so it's good. We're gaming. Um, my main issue is like it's hindering, like really hindering, because I wanted to like change like I wanted to like change, like I wanted to like not be the quiet one, but like the masks are so hindering for me to like do that, because like people can't hear you, like they literally can't hear you. And so it'll be like, yeah, you could say something and then people just dead ass just like not hear you. And it's so hard to like speak up because you don't want to feel like you're yelling. And if I guess everybody's cool with it. It's just like a social thing, I guess. Um, so yeah, that kind of sucks. Like, not like it's like 12:30. It's like 12:40 right now. Like 10 minutes ago, we were in like the dorm across from us, and the rule, like the new rule that they sent out today, was like no more than 6 people in a dorm at a time, and everybody has to be wearing masks. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not trying to like snitch or anything, but I'll just say like some of the rules weren't being followed too strictly, and somebody came by and like was like, there's supposed to be 6 people in the room, and you guys need to put your mask on. Anyway, it like brought it, then everybody, and then like one of them was like, okay, well I'll leave because I don't want somebody to come back and then we all get a citation or whatever. And then we were like, okay, yeah, we're just all gonna go to bed, and we were like vibing, like it was cool, but like somebody came and did that, and I'm like, it's just like socially, it's just hindering. Like I can say that it was necessary that that happened, because there was more than like 6 people like present, and some of us weren't wearing masks. I was wearing my mask. I just feel like I can't take it off whenever I'm not in my room, so I had my mask on, but not everybody did. And so yeah, so that it killed the vibe, and I'm like, yeah, this shit sucks. I mean, but we're glad to be here. It does suck, despite. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't want to talk about classes. Classes are fine. It's like work. It's just work, and I don't like to work, but I gotta. So it's whatever. Um, yeah. So I had some stuff I wanted to talk about that I learned in like the past week, being here, and like interacting with people and seeing what how people think about things, and what's going on, and just like kind of rant, kind of, I guess I could teach all stuff, but like it's, yeah. Personally for me, I low key, since like we have the mask and everything, like it kind of feels like one major theme right now has been, like, I feel like I'm a side character, like 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 I feel like big NPC energy, um and it's just because I'm not talking, like, yeah, straight up. um I feel like I did in high school, like, I'm still a quiet kid, basically. um it's tough. So here's the deal. I had a post Yep. Okay, so I had stuff I wanted to talk about. So basically, the first one. So I used Tinder the first couple of days. Like it's been, what do we moved in on Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. Yeah, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we started class, and it's yeah. So it's been a week, and the first couple of days I used Tinder, like maybe for the first. It's been 7 days, or no, it's Friday, so 8. So I used it for like the first 6 days, and only to like find people who like went here. Um, yeah, and that was tough. I'm in a co-ed dorm, so like these two girls like are right across from me, and I found one of them, and she only swiped on me because she knew who I was. Like she recognized me. I mean, we didn't know like each other at the time. Like the day after that, they got everybody in the dorm together, and we all like got to know each other, and so now like everybody on the floor is basically cool. Like we split off into groups and whatever, but that's how it goes. The larger the group, the groups split into smaller groups, and that's what we're basically doing. Because the smaller the group, the more personal stuff gets, and that's just natural. Um, so yeah, they're basically so the two girls across from us, especially the one, is like we're like cool, we're friends and everything. Um, anyway, yeah. So I don't know what I expected. Like I guess I expected to get matches. I only got one, or the two, her and another one. Um, and the other one, I did spit some fire bars. Hold on, check it out. It was basic. So basically, we matched, and I was like, "Hey, I want to try something. Give me 3 words." And she gave me hammer, appendix, and litigation. I'm like, "Huh, it's gonna be hard." And so basically, what I had to do is like make a rap using those words. So I'll read it out just now. Okay. So hammer, appendix, and litigation. I didn't use them in order, but here they are. Okay. I used to do gymnastics. I could take you out like an appendix and maybe even show you a few tricks. Hold on to that litigation when I show you my anticipation, but hopefully these words will move you like an animation. Be sure to check my grammar. I promise you I'm no spammer. My parents taught me good manners. Can't touch this like MC Hammer. So yeah, I was gaming. Um, that was pretty saucy using those words. Those words are hard. Um, but I started talking about Tinder because I wanted to talk about like why people use it. So basically, what I got from that, and like so the girl that I matched with that lives across from me, she only had it because she wanted like validation, basically. And it's just the self confidence issue or whatever. And I was like, and a lot of women do that because like a lot of the other girls on my floor do that too. They're like, oh, it's just for fun or whatever. And I'm like, all right, okay, yeah. So that's I mean, like, I'm like, it's like, what do guys do? Obviously, guys use it mostly for like hookups and stuff. Um, yeah. So basically, what I say. So I said like, most women use dating apps for validation. Most men use it to meet and connect with women, which means men shouldn't be using dating apps unless they get super lucky. Um, and then I'll dig more deep into this what I'm gonna bring up later, but men say like, oh, guys are dicks, guys are assholes because they ghost me, they play me or whatever. They act like I'm just like an object, like I'm not important as a person, and I'm like, well, why do you think they're like that? Like if they know that the girl's not gonna care what they say, then it's like you say whatever you want. Because they if they know that you're just using the app for validation, then they're not going to put effort into it. because they know you're not putting effort into it, and then they go and do something like that, and you call them a bad guy. And it's kind of hypocritical, because then guys could be like, oh, girls are jerks because they only use it for validation, and they don't actually put time and effort into like getting to know a guy or whatever. So I'm not going to say whose fault it is, because it's kind of like a cycle, but that's that. There's some complexity there. You're calling one group out, and I'm going to talk more on this later, because this is one of the main points, but you're calling one group out for doing something when you basically caused that reaction. So yeah. Number 2. Okay, so yeah, I'm going into it right now. So number 2 is one thing that I hear from, it's mostly women, and I've heard it from men who are not straight. I hate / like they say, I hate all men, kill all men are trash, dicks, assholes, whatever. I take it personal issue with this, because my friends do that. Like, I have lady friends that do that. And not to call anybody out, I'm not going to name names, but I'm basically, like, for the last year of high school, like as a senior, I was basically a chauffeur, right, for my lady friends. And like, in the car, they would talk about how attractive like old white guys are, right? I don't know. That's so weird, because like I'm a young black guy, and that's like from my standpoint, it's kind of cringe. Number one, because I'm like, ain't that who y'all hate? Because like they're like activists or whatever. They're all like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. I don't know. I don't know. That's a bad analogy. But yeah, it's weird, and that's all they talk about. That's most of what they talk about, is like their attraction for old white guys, and it like gets on my nerves. And then they go and turn around, and then they'll like say one thing that some random guy did that was weird, or like not cool, and then they'll be like, yeah, I hate all men, like yeah, men are trash, like I seriously, and then I'm like, I'm driving them somewhere, like I'm in the car. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, but not you, Josh. Like, you're different. Like, you're an exception. And I'm just like, well, no. Because, like, I'm a dude still. Like, you can't, like, no, it's like that. No. Straight up, and then they say it so much. Like, it's not a joke. Because, number one, it's not funny. And, like, 2, they like do it so much, like the repetition is what gets to you, because if you do that around someone like me, like it's not an insecurity thing, it really isn't, because it's because of the fact that it's so repetitive. Like, that's all you hear, that's what you start to think, right? And it's hypocritical, because they apparently they love men so much, but then they hate them at the same time. It's hypocritical. Yeah, and it just gets on my nerves. Yeah, so there's no reason. There's literally no reason. Like, there's no reason to say those things. There is zero reason. You know why? It's because if you ask them and they say, oh, well, this guy cheated on me, so all guys are assholes. Like, number one, no, your sample size is way too small. 2, that's like, no, it's a generalization, because your sample size too small. And the way I see it, like, obviously I don't do that. Like, I've never cheated on somebody. And so, like, you hate cheaters. Like, you hate people that cheat. You hate people who are assholes. You hate people who are dicks. Like, you can't, like, why would you say that you hate all men? You hate all people who suck. Like, straight up. Like, it's not a man or woman thing. Like, I I don't know if this is a thing or not, but I have never heard like just guys saying like, "Oh, I hate women." Yeah, women suck. Women are trash. Like around other women. Like when girls are around guys, or like guys who aren't straight, like people who aren't straight are around, straight guys, they say all that. But when straight guys are around women, I'd never hear it. Never. And I don't know if it's because of the people I'm hanging out with or what. And I know I've never said anything like that about any gender at all, you know? And I was talking with my sister about this, and apparently these are the same people who would like advocate for like men's, like men's mental health or whatever. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, guys is, mental health matters too." And then they go and do stuff like this around straight guys. And I say straight because like, gay people do it too. Um, you know, and I don't get it. Like there's no reason for it. There's zero reason. And like I spoke up about it once, and I literally said, it's easy to say all men. It's easy. And then the girl I was talking to with, and the guy, actually the straight guy who I was talking with, who was there too, was saying it as well. So it's actually like everybody says like, men suck. And I hate it because, like I know I don't, and that's not fair to me. And it's not fair to other guys who don't do that stuff. Like, it's like, who are you, like, number one, like, who are you hanging out with? You gotta, straight up. Like, you're gonna blame them, but it's like, okay, well, who are you hanging out with? Like, who are these people that you're surrounding yourself with? Number one. So, yeah. And then so I told him, I was like, guys, it's not like that. Like, it's literally, like I told him, I said, it's easy to say that. And they said, yeah, it is. Like, that's why they say it. Like, it's easy to do that. It's easy to generalize. And I say, like, you can't do that. Like, don't do that. Because it does affect, like, me personally. It like, I don't like to hear it. Like, it does, like, take some toll on my mental health. And I consider myself, like, a pretty secure guy. Like, I found out how to overcome my insecurities and whatever they are. But stuff like that's just like repetitive, and like apparently everybody does it. Like, I thought it was just, it's just, my lady friends who do that. But like, no, like I'm in college now, and people are doing it. So I thought it was something I could escape, but it's not. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got to start speaking up then, because like people are just going to keep doing this, and it's just going to be bad for my mental health. And so I just want people to stop doing it. So that's the one thing. That's the second thing I wanted to talk about. It's just, there's no reason for it, and it's hateful. It's just hate. There's nothing positive coming from that. It's not funny. I don't know who laughs at that. You're probably not a good person if you do. It's just straight up hateful. This one's kind of, the third one is kind of small. It's kind of, it's small because it's like personal. But going back to what I was saying about me with like my NPC energy, and like feeling like like I'm invisible, like I'm not like the main character in my own story, like I'm the side character in somebody else's. Me and this guy were in this girl's dorm room, and we were talking about some like heavy stuff, like insecurity and confidence and whatever. And he's going on and on about how he, came to be, more secure, find self-confidence through God. And and the thing is, like, he doesn't know when to stop. I feel like he doesn't know when to stop talking, because he keeps going, like he does not stop. Okay, sorry, my roommate came in, and like I don't want to be talking to myself while he's in here, but I think I was talking about, so right, dude doesn't know when to shut up, and it feels like he's got to be like the center of attention all the time, because he's got this like dad vibe going on, like he's trying to like educate everyone around him, you know, and you know, it's like one of those things where, you know, he like, it seems like he thinks he knows everything, but he's gonna be one of those people who's gonna be like, you know, and I don't know everything, you know. He is that kind of vibe. And you know, it's funny because he was like, you know, had this dad vibe like the first day we were here, and everybody on the floor is like, oh yeah, he's the dad, you know, or whatever. And he's got that like persona now. And it's, you know, it can make you feel like, you know, your voice kind of doesn't matter, because he'll like, sometimes he'll talk over you. Like, he doesn't tend to do it, but, you know, it feels like he talks for so long, like you can't get a word in, and then the topic changes when you have something you want to say, but then he'll just keep going, you know, and you can't really cut in. And so, yeah, he was talking to me and this girl about, and eventually it became, you know, another girl walked in, and he was talking about like how he found, you know, his confidence through God and everything. And he was like basically like hyping up, you know, Christianity. And like, you know, he's like, you gotta find God, like I think that's the best thing to do. And I'm sitting here like, well, not really. Like, I'm a Christian and I have a good relationship with God. Like, we're tight. Like, I feel like we're homies, to be completely honest with you. Like, me and Jesus, homies, me and God, gamers, you know. Like, I'm a Christian dude, but not to that extent. And like, the fact that he is okay, but the fact that like he's like peddling that, and he kind of framed it like it was the only way that it could happen, like the only way that you could be like secure with yourself and confident was like finding God. And I'm sitting here like, no, there's other ways. Because, you know, the way I did it, I just talked to myself a lot and I worked out. You know, I had an outlet, I had 2 outlets basically, and I worked myself through it. You know, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, credit God 100% when, you know, for me, finding myself. But, you know, because it can come from, you know, self, like for me, it was self-thought, you know, thinking about it and talking about it with myself and like rationalizing it out. And, you know, you already know if you watch the first one that I basically say how it happened. And you'll notice that there's not much God in it. I don't think I talked about it at all, like my religion at all, in that video or the podcast. But yeah, so basically, that's not the only way you can solve your problems. You can solve your problems. There's other ways. Right. So the note said, God is not the only way to overcome your self-confidence issues and insecurities, / the sole reason you may overcome them. And I say give yourself some credit, because it is you who's doing it. Like, you know, it's you. It's all about you. Number 4, preferences. Okay, there's a time and there are people. There's a time and are people to talk about your preferences. Mainly because I like the girl I matched with on Tinder who lives across from me. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. But I kind of like her a lot. And, but the thing is, her and, you know, her other friends will be like, you know, talking about, like, oh, that guy's really cute, or I met this guy on Tinder and he's really cute, or whatever. And, you know, like, they might show us their phones or whatever, you know, and, you know, it's people who don't look like me. And I'm like, that's fine, you know, that's okay. The thing is, look at your audience. You know, I mean, like, it's like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it's kind of insensitive when you do that. And you may not know, like, it's like, it's kind of not fair of me to be like, well, that's not cool because I like you. Why would you say that around me? They don't know that, you know. They don't know that she doesn't know that I like her. So why would she not do that? I honestly, it's just that, you know, when you're around, like, specifically for straight men and women, when you're, or it could be a gay thing too, when you're around people who may be attracted to you and you start talking about the people you're attracted to, and it's not what the people around you are, it can get kind of like, it can bum you out. Because if I'm around them and they start talking about, oh, how cute the white boy is, then I'm just sitting here like, well, damn, that kind of sucks because I'm not a white boy. And it's just, I think it might be just me dealing with that. And like I said, it's not an insecurity thing. It's just a repetition thing. Because like I said, back in Virginia, my lady friends would talk about how hot old white guys are. And I'm like, damn, you guys are kind of cringe. And now it's like, they're talking about, these guys who don't look like me. And I'm like, dang, you guys are kind of cringe. So, I think it's just me though. I think that's my own issue. I don't know. Yeah, it's like really specific, but yeah. It just like, I don't know. I'm screaming internally again. Like I used to not, like I did that and then I stopped doing it when I got like over everything. But now I feel invisible again because of this whole mask thing. Like Corona sucks, like straight up, I hate it. I already said this, but I'm happy to be here, but I hate the Corona so much. Like it's like, I mean, like I want to say it's ruining everything, but like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, and so I'm screaming internally again. I just want to shout, like get it out, but I can't. Yeah. So basically, what I want, if you listen to this, what I want you to take away from that is like for example, if you're a girl, like a straight girl, hanging around straight guys, or a straight guy, and like just don't talk about your preferences, don't talk about guys who you think are cute, like just don't, because number one, we most likely don't want to hear about it, and two, if we don't fit that thing, your preference, then it's just it'll bum us out even more because it feels like we're not valid, we're not cared about. Yeah. So just talk about it with other girls. For gay people too. I mean, talk about it with your straight friends. I don't know. Just don't make people feel like they're not wanted, because it makes me feel like I'm not wanted when they do that. It makes me feel like like damn, I'm not desirable, or people don't want me because of what I look like. And I don't think it's a race thing. I just think it's a aesthetics and preference thing. So yeah, just don't, or just know your audience. All right. Beauty and ugliness. I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter. Let's see. Here's the thing. I feel like people hang out with people because they look good. Personally, like the girl I like, she's really attractive. And, most of the time, we find ourselves, like, our hall floor is, like, split. It's half and half. And, like, one half is usually in her roommate's room. And her roommate is kind of cute, too. And then another two girls will be on the other half. And I'm on this half. So I know what this one's like. And she's kind of attractive. So, like, and there's another two who really, like, no one would go in their room because they're not, conventional. I don't know. I'm gonna get canceled. Like, I don't want anybody from my college to hear this. That some wouldn't say that are conventionally attractive. And so straight up, it's like, I think this is, so I've been thinking about this for a while. It's like the new, like, discrimination thing, based on, like, appearance. Like, if you're ugly, you're going to get discriminated against. or is maybe like you could call it pretty privilege is what I originally did, but like it's not a privilege because it's something that you can work on. So I'm gonna get into this because I've been thinking about it for a brick and a half. You have a base, like attractiveness level, and you can improve, or you can like devolve from it. Like, so you have a base, and how much effort you put into how you look is how much that base is going to be multiplied by. So like if you're a 5 and you put in 2 times the effort, you're going to be a 10, right? Is that what it was? Or I think it might have been the other way around. It was something like you either have a base and how much effort you put in can multiply the base, or you have a set amount of effort you have to put in and the base multiplies it. It's something like that, some weird numbers thing. But so basically, like if you look a certain way and you put a whole lot of effort into it, you're gonna look better, than someone who wouldn't. And it's different for everybody. Somebody can look like conventionally pretty and then not put so much effort into how they look and then still look pretty, while as someone who's like ugly can put a certain amount of work into how they look and then look just as pretty as the other person, or less. But that's what I think that new wave is. Like once we get racism fixed, it's gonna be like, okay, well they're treating me differently because they're pretty, or they're treating me differently because I'm ugly or I'm pretty, whatever. And I think that's gonna be like the new wave, to be completely honest. And I do have something that can fix that, is working out. I feel like your face is like something that you can't really change. I'm kind of stuck with it. But your body is something that you can, like, having abs and muscles does not look bad. Being fat looks bad. I'd say objectively, like, and like I'm just saying, like toned, like I am, like I've got muscles, I've got abs, I've got like kind of large pecs because I bench, but I look good from the neck down, like guaranteed. And so that only adds. It will never subtract from how attractive a person looks. It can only add. So the one thing I do say about that is that you should work out. I think everybody should work out. I don't think anybody should be fat. Like, I think it should not be a thing. Like in Japan, like they're like, ew, fat people, and I'm like, yes, y'all get it. So yeah, work out, and you will be, objectively better looking, because you're fit and healthy. It's a health thing. Like the healthier you are, the better you're gonna look. And you really can't argue with being healthy, because being healthy is objectively good. Being unhealthy is objectively bad. So I do think everybody should work out, get toned at least. So yeah. And all in moderation. Like, if you're big and muscly, whatever, I mean, that's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you're slim, you've got some meat on your bones and your muscles, then you're gonna be good. Yeah, so there's that. That's the thing I wanted to talk about. The one thing that's been on my mind for a break. Number 6, telling your crush you like them because fuck it. It's a difficult thing. Because here's the deal. If you like somebody, it's hard to hold on to it. Like, you want to tell them you want them to know how you feel, but it's hard because you think, like, oh, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I need to get them to know me a little better, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I've done my whole life. I basically like waited. I'm like, be their friend first, and then tell them later down the line how you feel, you know. And I'm like trying to change that because I feel like hookup culture has become such a big thing that it's like it would be easier to get what you want if you just like came out in the first place, like your intentions were clear from the start. You know, like I've never gone up to a girl and asked for her number or anything. You know, I felt like, you know, oh, am I like I've always felt like that would like not be cool. Like I'm like, oh, I'm probably making them uncomfortable. I don't know this person. You know, like why would anybody do that? But then everybody, you know, people do that. Like that's a normal thing. So yeah, I mean, from that standpoint, I mean, like if you like somebody, just let them know from the get-go. That way you're not holding on to something and they know your intentions from the start. And then it's not like, you know, I mean, that's how you don't get friend zoned, basically. I mean, you can't get friend zoned, really. Like, you can't get truly friend zoned because you're not their friend. You don't know them, but they know what you want from the beginning. But if you don't do that, if you like hold on to it, and then they can friend zone you, be like, no, I really like this as friends, and not, you know, something more. And so that's basically how you get friend zoned. So honestly, I mean, just like I said, fuck it, just tell them, get it over with, get it in the beginning, so that they know what you're all about. Yeah, I need to do that. Like I want to, but then the thing with waiting, like there's so many factors. Like it's just I don't know. I could say like whatever the reason is, it's an excuse. That might change answer. I don't know. I feel like if you look at somebody, you can like immediately tell like I'm not gonna vibe with this person, or I am, and no matter what the circumstances, like it's either gonna happen or it's not. So yeah, that about your crush, just tell them out straight up, jump. All right, last and final thing. Sexual education videos and why they make me sick. Not because of the cringe that you think initially, you know, they try to be cool and hip or whatever. Like the one they showed us here, it was like super weird, super bizarre. Like they had these weird scenarios. They're trying to teach us about like sexual assault and how to ask for consent and everything. And I'm like, yeah, ask for consent, that's cool. But like it was so bizarre. The one thing that, and you know, and that's kind of, you know, you get a little bit of that with every sexual education video that you watch. But the thing is, the thing that they don't talk about ever, like it's in none of them, is I feel like I can't, I feel like it doesn't happen, like it can't happen for me, you know? I was talking to one of my friends like late night in the car, and they were like, you know, some people just have the vibe, you know, like yeah, they're fuckable. Like you could have sex with them or not. Like, you know, like some people, like it can happen for some people, and for some people it can't. And you know, we were like, you know, she had done it before, and so she was like, obviously I'm one of those people who can. And then she was like, you know, you're good looking as a guy. You know, you could probably, you have the potential. You know, like it could happen for you. And I'm like, okay, but like it hasn't happened yet. And I was, a comedian came to our school, and he was like, yeah, I was a virgin until I was 22. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I still got time. But yeah, it just feels like personally, it feels like it can't happen for me. Like it doesn't feel real. Like at one point I thought I was like, you know, sex is a thing I made up in my mind. Like everybody's talking about it because I think, like, because I made it up. Like it's not real. Like it doesn't actually happen. And I know that's like kind of stupid to think, but like I thought that for like a hot second. And I was like, this thing is fake because it hasn't happened to me yet. Like everybody's saying it's happened to them. I'm like, this is just a figment of my imagination. But yeah, it does feel like that. And the one thing that they never address in those education videos is like, if you feel like you can't get it, and like you want it, like I want to, but like I don't know how to initiate. I don't know like how close do I have to be to a person, you know? Like how do I do that, And I don't know if I'm afraid of the rejection or whatever, or not. I don't know. I personally feel like the circumstances have to be right, like not like perfect, but like, I'd like it to be someone who I know, at least. I guess it's how much value you place into virginity or whatever. You want it to be people say you want their first time to be special, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want it to be someone I know, because like, I mean, that's like, I think it's like I view it as like that's how you get value. I don't think I've talked about value in friendship yet, but basically, like, value is like, how much you value a person, like how much, you know. I had a really good explanation for it a while ago, but it's been so long since I've touched on the concept, it's kind of lost on me. But like, friendship is like how comfortable you are around people, and then value is like, you want to be their friend. You want to be able to get comfortable around them to that level, that they're friends. That is like friendship and not value. And like sex is like a really great way to gain value, because it like you become vulnerable in those moments, like so vulnerable. And that's like I view it as a great way to build value, because it's like so intimate. And I want to have that connection with somebody, but it feels like I can't ever get it because it's never happened to me before. So I don't know, like, it's weird. I'm getting like super I'm just like spilling my guts out right now. Yeah, so that's why I don't like those videos, because they never touch on that. They're never like, and if you're one of those people who feel like, you can't, like, this doesn't happen for you or whatever, these are some things you can do to, maybe improve in your game or whatever. Like, there's no support. There's no support for that. People are like, haha, virgin, funny, or whatever. And there's never any, like, attention for those people or support. And that's why I hate those. Because it's like, damn, y'all are having sex. That's crazy. Couldn't be me. And so you can't relate to anything that they're talking about. So you're just kind of like watching it. Like, damn, y'all are getting like peer pressured into parties. Whack. I wish I got invited to a party. Yeah. So for like for people like me who have that issue, there feels like there's no support. And it's tough, because that's a tough subject to talk about. Like, it's hard. It'd be pretty hard for me to go up to somebody and be like, dude, I don't think anybody wants to fuck me. What's up with that? Why would you go up to somebody and say that? Anybody, therapist or whatever. Like, that'd be tough to talk about. So, yeah. That's all I've got. That's all that was in my notes. Glad I got it out. You already know I think I'm a god. And like I said, the girl across the hall probably doesn't like me. White boys just might be her thing, as usual, as expected. I mean, because, like, I saw a video on my school. Like, my school is predominantly white. And it's predominantly, like, there's more girls here than guys. But there's, like, this weird, like, I feel a weird separation between the two sexes. I don't know, it's weird. But, I feel like, the white girls are like the white boys with the hair or whatever. And an average-looking black guy like me is, like, no chance with anybody. It's whack, one of the girls who went here was like, I saw a YouTube video, and she was talking about like the guys at the school, and she was like, yeah, they like white, and she was black, and she was like, yeah, they like white girls, like there's black guys that go here, but they all like white girls. And I'm like, damn, that's tough, but you know, that's their preference or whatever. But then I feel like, you know, okay, the black guys like the white girls, and the white girls like the white guys, you know, and the white guys are like on top, unbeatable. So that's what I'm kind of feeling. It's weird. It's a complicated situation. Yeah. I cry. Such is life. You know, human gods can be depressed because, you know, I know my worth. I'm the gamer. But sometimes you just get depressed, and it's like, damn, nobody wants me. You know, if I start to feel like, I used to feel this a lot, like if I disappeared, no one would care. You know, if like I just like poof, gone one day, people would be like, oh, where's J. Cole? And then like 2 days would pass and be like, you know, who's J. Cole? You know? Yeah. Man, I don't know. If this is what... Because, you know, I thought I was going to come to college and, like, find, like, girls who would be attracted to me, but I guess it's, like, the same everywhere, you know? Or, like, you know, I thought I'd find someone I was attracted to who was also attracted to me, and it'd be cool, but I guess not. I mean, it's only been a week. I can't really make that judgment yet. But yeah, I don't know, it's just tough. Because, like, you know, a whole bunch of other people, you know, have been fucking out and whatever. And, like, I'm just sitting here like, aha, couldn't be me. It's hard. It's tough times. But, and it, like, I can't even, it is so hard for me to be like, you know, just focus on your education, that's what you're there for. It is so hard to do that. It's literally, like, the second reason I'm here is to, like, get an education. Like, I'm just trying to make friends and feel valid as a person, feel desired as a person. That has to come first, or else, like, my mental state is going to be totally out of whack, and I'm not going to be able to do, like, anything. I don't know. But then I'm like, I have this, you know, thing in my head, like, I'm a god, like, I'm literally, like, I'm secure, like, I'm cool, like, I'm a gamer, I'm the gamer. But then I'm feeling these feelings, and it just gets complicated. And I just have these emotions in my head, and it's just, like, super hard to deal with. Yeah. I don't know how to deal with it. Like, I can't give y'all advice on this. I don't know how to deal with this. I can't say fucking I'm balling, because, like, I ain't got no ball to ball with. Your boy's going through it. That's all I gotta say. Your boy's going through it. Hopefully the situation will improve somehow, and I'll start to feel like the main character in my own life again. But that's all I got. Your boy's going through it. I'm sorry, this was, like, super depressing. But yeah. Stop saying you hate all men. Stop saying all men are jerks and things like that. Stop it now. Alright, I'll see y'all in the next one. Hopefully it'll be more upbeat. Peace.